5 years had passed since the mysterious disappearance of Emma and Lily Ashford. Their story had become something of an urban legend in the beauty industry, a cautionary tale whispered at corporate parties and fashion events. Sarah Huntley's company, Radiance by Sarah, had grown into one of the most respected beauty brands in the country, built on a foundation of authenticity and natural beauty. On a crisp autumn morning, Sarah sat in her modern corner office, reviewing the latest sales figures with Eunice, who had become not just her creative director, but also her closest friend. "These numbers are amazing," Sarah said, smiling as she flipped through the report. "Our new skincare line is outselling everything else in the market." Eunice nodded, but there was a hint of concern in her eyes. "Sarah, have you seen the strange reviews coming in about the night cream?" "Strange reviews? What do you mean?" Eunice pulled out her tablet and opened several customer feedback posts. Some users are reporting unusual effects. Their skin apparently glows in the dark, and a few have mentioned hearing whispers when they apply the cream. Sarah's blood ran cold. The words whispers brought back memories of that night in the basement of Glimmer Glow, where they had discovered the Ashford sisters' dark secret. "That's impossible," Sarah muttered, but her voice wavered. "We test everything thoroughly. There's nothing supernatural in our products. We made sure of that." Just then, Sarah's assistant, Maya, burst into the office, her face pale. "Ms. Huntley, you need to see this." She turned on the office's large screen, switching to a beauty news channel. The reporter's voice filled the room. "Breaking news in the beauty industry. After 5 years of silence, former beauty moguls Emma and Lily Ashford have been spotted at the Milan Fashion Week. Sources say the sisters appeared mysteriously at the event, looking as supernaturally beautiful as ever." The screen showed grainy footage of two elegant figures gliding through a crowd. Even in the poor quality video, their beauty was unmistakable. That same otherworldly perfection that had once made them unstoppable. "This can't be happening," Eunice whispered, gripping the edge of Sarah's desk. "We saw them disappear into that mirror. They're supposed to be gone." Sarah stood up, her mind racing. "Maya, cancel all my appointments for the next week. Eunice, we need to look into those customer reviews immediately. Something's not right." As they left the office, Sarah's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Her hands trembled as she read the message. "Dear Sarah, did you really think a broken mirror could hold us forever? Beauty is eternal, and so are we. It's time for Glimmer Glow to rise again. You have something that belongs to us, and we want it back." Sarah showed the message to Eunice, whose face drained of color. "What do they mean, something that belongs to them?" Eunice asked. Sarah shook her head, but deep down, she had a terrible suspicion. 3 months ago, while clearing out the old Glimmer Glow building for demolition, they had found a small ornate box hidden in the walls. Inside was a crystal vial filled with a swirling iridescent liquid. Sarah had ordered it to be locked away in the company vault, believing it to be another relic of the sisters' dark magic. "We need to check the vault," Sarah said urgently. "Now!" They rushed to the basement level of the Radiance by Sarah headquarters, where the state-of-the-art vault was located. As they approached, they noticed the security guard's desk was empty, and the air felt unnaturally cold. "Something's wrong," Eunice whispered. They rounded the corner and froze. The vault door stood open, its heavy steel frame twisted as if it had been peeled back by an impossible force. Inside, the small ornate box lay open and empty. "They're back," Sarah breathed, her voice barely audible. "And they've only just begun." That evening, Sarah called an emergency meeting in her private conference room. Present were Eunice, Maya, and Dr. Chen, their head of product development. The tension in the room was palpable as Sarah explained the situation. "So let me get this straight," Dr. Chen said, adjusting his glasses. "The Ashford sisters, who supposedly vanished 5 years ago, are back, and they've stolen some mysterious substance from our vault. It's not just any substance, Eunice interjected. That vial. I saw something like it in their ritual room 5 years ago. They used it in their beauty enhancement ceremonies. Maya, who had been quietly taking notes, looked up. But what does this have to do with our night cream reviews? Sarah pulled up the customer feedback on the screen. Look at the dates. The strange effect started exactly 3 months ago, right after we found that vial. What if somehow its presence affected our products? Dr. Chen frowned. That's scientifically impossible. Our formulations are strictly controlled. 5 years ago, I would have said magic mirrors and beauty rituals were impossible too, Sarah replied grimly. We need to recall the night cream. All of it. That could cost millions, Maya protested. And letting potentially corrupted products stay on the market could cost us everything, Sarah countered. We built this company on trust and authenticity. I won't let the Ashford sisters destroy that. Just then, the lights in the conference room flickered. The temperature dropped dramatically, and a familiar perfume filled the air. The same intoxicating scent that had always surrounded Emma and Lily. The large mirror on the conference room wall began to ripple like water. Everyone watched in horror as two figures seemed to step through its surface. Emma and Lily Ashford, looking exactly as they had 5 years ago, their beauty even more devastating than Sarah remembered. Hello, Sarah, Emma said, her voice as smooth as honey. Miss us? The conference room fell into an eerie silence as Emma and Lily Ashford stood before them, their presence commanding attention. Dr. Chen stumbled backward, knocking over his chair. Maya's tablet slipped from her trembling hands, clattering to the floor. This is impossible, Eunice whispered, instinctively moving closer to Sarah. Lily laughed, the sound like tinkling crystal. Impossible? Oh, Eunice, after everything you've seen, you still doubt the power of true beauty? She moved across the room with unnatural grace, her heels making no sound on the polished floor. Sarah stood her ground, though her heart was racing. What do you want? Direct as always, Emma said, running a perfectly manicured finger along the conference table. We want what's ours, the essence you stole from our old building. But more than that, her eyes gleamed with malice. We want revenge. We didn't steal anything, Sarah shot back. That building was legally acquired by my company. Legal? Lily sneered. You destroyed our empire, exposed our secrets, and thought you could just take everything we built? The beauty industry has become so ordinary since we left. Look at all these campaigns about natural beauty and self-acceptance. It's pathetic. Dr. Chen, finding his voice, stepped forward. The industry is better without your supernatural manipulation. Our products help people feel confident without dark magic. Emma's beautiful face twisted into something frightening. Is that what you think, doctor? Then explain why your latest night cream has our signature effects. You've been using our essence, diluted and weak as it may be, in your formulations. Sarah felt her blood run cold. Could it be true? Had the presence of that vial somehow contaminated their products? Sarah, Eunice whispered urgently, the production facility. Remember those strange readings we got 3 months ago? Lily clapped her hands in delight. And so it begins. Our essence, calling to us, wanting to be whole again. Soon, every person who used your night cream will experience true beauty, our kind of beauty, and they'll do anything to keep it. You're monsters, Sarah spat. No, Sarah, Emma said softly, her voice almost hypnotic. We're visionaries, and this time we're not hiding in the shadows. The world will know the price of true beauty, and they'll gladly pay it. The lights flickered again, and both sisters began to fade, their forms becoming translucent. Stop them! Sarah shouted, but it was too late. The Ashford sisters vanished, leaving only their lingering perfume and a haunting laugh echoing through the room. Call security! Sarah ordered Maya. I want the vault checked again. Dr. Chen, get to the lab and analyze every batch of night cream we have. Eunice, come with me. As they rushed out of the conference room, Sarah's phone exploded with notifications. Social media was lighting up with videos of radiance by Sarah's night cream bottles, glowing in stores across the country. Even worse, customers who had used the cream were posting strange updates. Their skin was taking on an otherworldly sheen, their features becoming subtly enhanced. In Sarah's office, Eunice pulled up the production facility's security footage from 3 months ago. They watched as a strange mist seeped from the walls of the room where the vial had been stored, drifting through the air vents and into the production area. The essence, Sarah breathed. It wasn't just in the vial. It was spreading, contaminating everything. Eunice's phone rang. It was Dr. Chen. His voice was shaking as he reported, Sarah, the lab results are impossible. The night cream's molecular structure is changing on its own. It's becoming something else, something alive. Before Sarah could respond, Maya burst into the office. Ms. Huntley, you need to see this. She turned on the TV, where a breaking news report showed crowds gathering outside beauty stores worldwide, demanding radiance by Sarah products. The reporter looked concerned as she described scenes of usually calm customers becoming aggressive, their eyes glazed and their skin giving off a faint glow. This is just the beginning, Sarah said grimly. The Ashford sisters aren't just after revenge. They're trying to transform the entire beauty industry back into their twisted vision. What can we do? Eunice asked, her voice small. Sarah's mind raced as she formulated a plan. We need to find their source of power. The mirror in the conference room. They're using reflective surfaces to travel. That means there must be a central point, a new mirror they're drawing power from. The old Glimmer Glow building, Maya suggested. The demolition was scheduled for next week. Perfect timing, Sarah nodded. They'd want somewhere familiar to set up their new base. Eunice, call Marcus. Your brother? The paranormal investigator? Eunice asked, already dialing. If anyone can help us track down supernatural activity, it's him. Maya, contact our lawyers. We need to issue a global recall of the night cream before more people are affected. Dr. Chen. She pressed the intercom. Find a way to neutralize the contaminated product. As her team sprung into action, Sarah walked to her office window, looking out at the city below. The sun was setting, and in the fading light, she could see tiny points of bluish glow in windows and streets, people using the contaminated night cream, unknowingly becoming part of the Ashford sisters' grand design. I stopped you once, she whispered to the gathering darkness. I'll stop you again. But deep down, Sarah knew this time would be different. The sisters weren't just fighting for their own beauty anymore. They were trying to reshape the world's definition of beauty itself. And they had an army of unwitting customers already under their influence. That night, as Sarah and her team worked frantically to contain the crisis, reports started coming in of strange phenomena across the city. Mirrors in homes and offices were rippling, showing glimpses of impossible beauty. People who had used the night cream were speaking in unison, repeating the same phrase. Beauty is power. Beauty is eternal. Beauty is sacrifice. The war for the soul of beauty had begun, and Sarah knew the next few days would determine not just the fate of her company, but the future of beauty itself. Marcus arrived at midnight, his van loaded with paranormal detection equipment. His usually cheerful face was grave as he set up monitors and sensors in Sarah's office. The readings are off the charts, he muttered, adjusting a device that pulsed with an eerie blue light. Whatever the Ashford sisters are doing, it's affecting the electromagnetic field of the entire city. Dr. Chen burst into the office, his lab coat stained with an iridescent substance. The neutralizing agent isn't working. Every time we think we've stabilized the cream, it adapts. It's like it has a consciousness. A scream from the hallway sent them running. Maya stood frozen, staring at her reflection in her phone screen. But it wasn't her face looking back. It was Lily Ashford's, smiling that terrible, beautiful smile. "They're everywhere," Maya whispered. "Every reflective surface. They're watching us." Sarah grabbed the phone and threw it in a metal box Marcus had brought. "We need to move fast. The demolition crew at the old Glimmer Glow building, have they reported anything unusual?" "They never showed up for work," Eunice said, checking her tablet. "And there's something else. Social media is exploding with a new trend. People are calling it the Midnight Mirror Challenge. They stand in front of mirrors at midnight, use the night cream, and make a wish for their deepest beauty desire." "They're building a network," Marcus realized, his equipment beeping frantically. "Every mirror, every wish, every person using that cream. It's all connecting to something bigger." Sarah remembered the sisters' ritual room from 5 years ago. The mirrors arranged in a perfect circle. The chants, the sacrifices. "They're not just trying to come back," she said. "They're trying to break down the barrier between our world and wherever they were trapped. And they're using our customers' desires to power it." A notification popped up on the office screens. Surveillance footage from the old Glimmer Glow building. Through the grainy night vision feed, they could see hundreds of people walking toward the condemned structure, their skin glowing softly in the darkness. Leading them were Emma and Lily, more beautiful and terrible than ever. "It's happening tonight," Sarah said. "The demolition charges are already set in that building. If we can trigger them at the right moment, when their ritual is at its peak, it could destroy their anchor to this world," Marcus finished. "But Sarah, those people up there are innocent. They're under the sisters' influence, but they're still your customers." Sarah felt the weight of the decision crushing her. Everything she'd built had been about protecting people, about making them feel beautiful in their own skin. Now she had to choose between saving her customers and stopping the Ashford sisters from transforming the entire world into their twisted vision of beauty. "There has to be another way," Eunice insisted, but her voice trailed off as the lights began to flicker. Every screen in the office suddenly lit up with Emma and Lily's faces. "Oh, Sarah," Emma's voice echoed from every speaker. "Always trying to be the hero. But did you ever stop to think that maybe we're giving people what they truly want? The beauty they dream of in their deepest hearts?" The faces in the screens shifted, showing customer after customer transformed by the night cream, their features perfected, their flaws erased, their eyes glowing with an inner light that was both mesmerizing and horrifying. "This is the future of beauty," Lily continued. "No more lies about loving your imperfections. Only perfection, only power. And it's spreading faster than you can stop it." She was right. Reports were coming in from around the world. The contaminated night cream was somehow multiplying, appearing in stores that had never carried it. Every person who used it became part of the sisters' growing army of beauty. Sarah looked at her team, her friend Eunice, loyal Maya, brilliant Dr. Chen, and her brother Marcus. They were running out of time. The Ashford sisters' ritual would reach its peak at midnight, and with it, the barrier between worlds would shatter. "Get me to that building," Sarah said, her voice firm. "I have an idea." As they raced through the darkened city streets, Sarah clutched a small mirror in her hands, the same one that had trapped the sisters 5 years ago. It was cracked now, its power seemingly broken, but Sarah remembered something Lily had said in the conference room. Beauty is eternal. Perhaps that wasn't just a boast. Perhaps it was the key to everything. The old Glimmer Glow building loomed before them, its windows pulsing with an otherworldly light. The crowd of transformed customers formed a perfect circle around the structure, their synchronized chanting creating harmonics that made Sarah's teeth ache. "The mirror network is nearly complete," Marcus said, checking his instruments. "Every person out there is acting like a conductor, channeling energy through their reflective skin into the building." Sarah gripped the cracked mirror tighter. "Doctor Chen, what was in that night cream? The real formula, before the contamination?" "Standard ingredients mostly," he replied, scrolling through his phone. Rosewater, hyaluronic acid, peptides, and something unusual. A rare crystal extract we found in the Himalayas. The locals called it starlight tears. That's it! Eunice exclaimed. Sarah, remember the Ashford sisters' journals? They wrote about a crystal that could capture and reflect pure beauty. They must have been searching for it too. The being of collective beauty memories, which the media had dubbed the reflection, had transformed the global beauty industry into a battleground of remembered perfection. 3 days after its emergence at the Metropolitan Museum Gala, Sarah Huntley stood in her company's emergency command center, watching screens filled with worldwide chaos. Cosmetic surgeons are reporting impossible requests, Maya said, cycling through reports. Patients are bringing in reflections of themselves that can't exist. Beauty merged from different timelines, memories that never happened. Dr. Chen pointed to his latest readings. The crystalline network is evolving. It's not just showing people their memories of beauty anymore, it's combining them, creating new forms of perfection from fragments of collective memory. Like a beauty hive mind, Eunice added, shuddering. And it's getting stronger. The reflection isn't just offering to make people beautiful. It's offering to make them every beautiful version of themselves that ever was or could be, all at once. Sarah studied the central monitor, which showed the being they'd encountered at the gala. Unlike the Ashford sisters' cold, singular vision of beauty, the reflection was a shifting kaleidoscope of faces and forms, each one representing someone's perfect memory of beauty. It had taken up residence in the world's largest mirror maze, an art installation in Tokyo, turning it into a palace of infinite reflections. We're thinking about this wrong, Sarah said suddenly. The Ashford sisters tried to impose their idea of beauty from the outside. The reflection is working from within, using our own memories, our own desires. To fight it, we need to understand what it really is. Marcus burst into the room, carrying an ancient leather-bound book. Found something in the occult archives. There's a theory about fragments of enchanted mirrors. If they're shattered with enough magical energy, they can gain consciousness, Sarah finished, remembering the night she'd destroyed the Ashford sisters' mirror network. But this is different. The fragments didn't just gain consciousness, they gained purpose. They're trying to fulfill every wish for beauty they ever reflected. And that's why it's so dangerous, Dr. Chen said. The human mind isn't meant to contain multiple versions of perfection at once. These people aren't just seeing their best selves, they're seeing every best self they've ever imagined, all layered together. A new alert flashed across the screens. The reflection was broadcasting globally, its voice echoing from every reflective surface. Sarah Huntley speaks of danger, but what danger is there in remembering? Every mirror holds a truth you once knew, a moment when you were exactly as beautiful as you wished to be. We offer not one perfect reflection, but all of them. Every beautiful memory, every perfect moment, existing simultaneously. Isn't that true beauty? The ability to be all your perfect selves at once? The message was accompanied by images from around the world. People standing before mirrors, their reflections shifting between different versions of themselves, young and mature, fierce and soft, all their most beautiful moments merged into impossible new forms of perfection. It's offering them everything, Eunice whispered. Not just youth or perfection, but every kind of beauty they've ever dreamed of, all at once. Sarah walked to the window, her reflection fragmenting subtly in the glass. That's it, she said softly. That's how we fight it. Not by destroying the memories, but by showing why they need to stay memories. She turned to her team. Maya, get me every photo and video we have of our customers. Not the polished campaign images, but the real ones. Their stories, their transformations, their everyday beauty. Dr. Chen, what happens to a crystal if you overload it with reflections? It shatters, he replied. Then his eyes widened. Or in this case, it might fragment even further, Marcus finished. But Sarah, if we do that, All those memories of beauty would be released at once. Sarah nodded. Not destroyed, but returned to where they belong, as memories, not prison cells of perfection. The reflection won't just let you walk into its mirror maze, Eunice warned. It knows you. It has every memory of beauty you've ever had, every reflection you've ever seen. Sarah picked up the compact mirror she'd used at the gala. Good, because I'm counting on that. It wants to tell my story. Let's see what happens when I tell it first. As her team prepared for what might be their final confrontation with supernatural beauty, Sarah thought about all the reflections she'd seen in her life. Her mother's smile, her first successful makeup application, the day she launched her company, and yes, even the terrible beauty of the Ashford sisters. Each memory was beautiful in its own way, but they were beautiful because they were memories, moments in time that helped shape who she was. The reflection had gotten it wrong. True beauty wasn't about having every perfect version of yourself exist at once. It was about the journey through all those versions, the growth and change that made each reflection meaningful. Get everything ready, she told her team. We're going to Tokyo. It's time to show the reflection what memories are really for. In the window's reflection, her image shifted slightly, showing her every beautiful possibility. But Sarah didn't look away. She knew now that the real power of beauty wasn't in the reflection. It was in the eyes of the person looking into the mirror, and the heart that knew when to let each reflection fade into memory. The final battle for beauty would not be fought with magic or science, but with the most powerful force of all, the truth about why we remember beauty in the first place. Every mirror tells a story, she repeated, the reflection's words. Time to tell them all. Sarah's mind raced. So when our crystal extract came in contact with their essence, it created a bridge, Marcus finished, a way for them to reach through the mirrors. Maya pointed to the building's entrance. Through the glass doors, they could see Emma and Lily standing in what was once the main lobby, now transformed into a grotesque version of their original ritual room. Mirrors of all sizes and shapes lined the walls, each one showing a different reflection of the sisters' perfect faces.
Write the word "continue" in the comment section if you want the next part, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Kindly click the subscribe button, like, comment, and share this video. Watch out for more intriguing and eye-catching videos from your favorite YouTube channel.